Hey guys, Cockerpunk here. Wanted to give you guys a first impression on these new Tiberious paintballs. Everybody on the internet has been on fire with what the heck do these things look like and how do they perform and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I live in an apartment building, so I can't go out shooting them right now for you. And anyway, they come in a little tube like this, all stacked together. And what I did do, and I'll show you the camera, is, you know, Punkworks did the test where we dropped a paintball, dropped all of our paintballs from 8 feet onto a solid oak board to test comparative brittleness. Well, what I did, I unfortunately don't have 20 of them. If I had 20 of them, that was the first test I was going to do. But I did drop one to see if it would break after 8 feet, and how it compares to a regular paintball in terms of brittleness, because these suckers are actually made out of they're not made on an encapsulation machine out of gelatin like regular paintballs are. They are actually molded out of plastic. You can actually see, hopefully the camera is focusing in on that, you can actually see where the seams of the mold are, and you can see that it's a lot more rigid in every way than a paintball. So here's the one I dropped. I only dropped one because it actually did break. One thing I was worried about with these guys is the role of the method of failure. In a shape like this with a big flat back like that, I was worried that the stress concentration was going to be right on this back seam here, and it was going to, when it failed, it would blow out the back. But you can tell that they, god damn, my focus is really bad. There you go. You can tell that they had planned for that, and they knew that. And it actually breaks from the tip outward. There's actually, god dang, focusing abilities. Man. You can actually see that there's another crack in here, about halfway between those two in terms of the angle. And hopefully you can see that anyway. And so they're designed to shatter from the nose out. Another thing I wanted to do is measure them, because there's been a lot of talk about them. One thing I was worried about is if they're too long, then not only do we have to redesign the loading mechanism so that they fall properly into the breech, but we would have to redesign the stroke in terms of how long the bolt motion is. But if we get out the handy dandy busted screen digital caliper, we can see that these guys are 0.684 in diameter, and oh man, I don't know about this. Let me, I'll stick it up here, and I can do there. It's actually 0.679 is what I got in terms of length. So they're actually a little bit shorter than they are around, which is good because we won't have that problem. We should be able to simply modify a loading mechanism to run maybe a vertical feed clip, say, to work. You know, there's a few videos of them shooting, and everybody, it looks like, who's shot them has been impressed, and I'm not. You know, a sphere is a really terrible aerodynamic projectile, and that's really been a problem for paintball for a long time. And I don't doubt that this will outperform a paintball in pretty much every way, that this will be better than a paintball. The problem is with, you know, we've tried this a few times, making a more aerodynamic paintball. It was first tried in the early 90s with these weird egg-shaped paintballs. It was tried, I think the guy from Scenario Dreams tried to glue fins on the back of paintballs, and the problem is always twofold. Number one, the industry, the entire industry, like 100% of the industry, is based on a spherical projectile. So guns are designed that way, loaders are designed that way. You know, the market, the entire market, the fields are designed for inherently inaccurate guns. You know, everything is set up to fire a spherical projectile. And to make a projectile like this successful, you need to change that paradigm, which has been tried, like I said, with superior ballistic performance, but it's never taken off the same way. And the other problem is, of course, cost. One of these guys is on the order of about 75 cents. So you can shoot something like 30 or 35 paintballs for that price. I mean, it is what it is. Of course, if they take off, the price might come down a bit, but it's really the scientific performance of this. I have no doubt that it performs better than anything else. It's just a matter of if that performance is enough to merit the entire industry changing around it. Because this isn't something, you know, most fields are field paint only, so you're not going to be able to use your Tib-8 or your Tiberious rounds. Most big games and scenarios are field paint only, so you're not going to be able to use your Tib rounds. It's really a fine line, and I wonder, beyond just a scientific understanding of what's going on with these guys, if they will actually take off in terms of business in paintball, because paintball's been around for 20 years and we've pretty much standardized the spherical projectile as the thing that we base all of our games off of. You know, our field size, our field, what we play behind, you know, what equipment we use and why and how, the rules of the game, the loaders, the guns, everything is based off of a spherical projectile. And I really will be curious to see if this kind of thing can really change that strongly reinforced paradigm. I guess we'll see. I can't wait to put these both. I want to get another tube at least, so we can do a full paint brittleness test on our standardized rig, so we can compare it to the paints that we've already dropped from 8 feet onto a piece of oak, so we can compare it to, say, gold, silver, bronze, Triumph, and Frostbite. See where in that it ranks in terms of brittleness, because that's been something that a lot of people have been talking about too. We'll shoot them, and we'll also try and shoot them under high speed, see if we can pick up any sort of weirdnesses about them. It ought to be interesting. So you guys have a good one, and yeah, I just wanted to spread the word about these because they've been sitting on my desk for a day now. So talk to you later.